The next round will be MTC versus Enamord. On Honor Grounds LE.
Ooh, I don't believe I have ever seen this map before.
No, I don't think I have either. So, let's start.
MTC starting off as Protoss.
Right, MTC does a lot of race swapping.
Thing that I have to say, because MTC is random and has random Protoss,
Oh,
it looks like.
yep.
That is, I expected MTC to start random, but I know they do switch to Protoss on occasion because they feel Protoss is their best race.
Yeah.
This is a very large map.
Oh no, MTC is orange. Yes, this is a very large map. This is a 4-player map. Not technically against the rules, but, you know, much in the same way a dog playing for you isn't. Anyway, on the top left, the orange Zerg, MTC. And on the top right, the green Zerg, Anric, or Enamord. So, looking at this map, yeah, so this Overlord is actually en route to find MTC's base, which would be one of the difficulties of a 4-player map. And Anric drops an earlier hatchery, though not by much, just a few seconds.
So looking at this map, there is what appears to be a pocket natural with no entrances or exits. There is a third where you would normally expect a natural to be. There is a watchtower just outside the natural/third.
There are gold bases scattered around with rocks protecting them and preventing people from building on them.
Looking at this map, and then with the watchtower and no other entrances to the natural/third, it seems to be fairly safe to go up to 4 bases even on this map.
Yeah, this looks like a very easy to defend map. Very good macro map. And both players have found each other. MTC stealing a mineral. Yeah, sorry, I had Twitch chat off because I was dealing with something else. And going for a very early evolution chamber. I really like the orange on Zerg. Kind of glows. But I do just notice that one of MTC's workers has decided to stop working. It's called a general strike.
I mean, it's the drone's birthday, it can take a day off.
Yeah. Also, like, you know, these drones, they see all their friends sort of go away. They say they're gonna build something, they never come back. Makes you worry about your job security.
I mean, but if you wanted to avoid going off to build something and never coming back, you'd think that the solution to that would be to find a job that did not require building something.
Yeah, so so it's probably on strike until he's not asked to build anything anymore.
Fair enough.
No upgrades yet, no Zerg speed on the way for either player, but MTC does have 12 Zerglings. 14.
And a spine crawler here to defend the main.
Yeah. And a spore crawler. in the mineral line. That does feel a little bit early.
Yeah. But better to have it too early than too late.
Yeah. Road speed on the way, and +1 ranged. Okay, Enamord is basically going for the vibe bronze to plat build.
Yeah.
It's a good build.
Yeah. This is about what I expect from Enamord, based on experience in my game and watching a couple of others. Just a solid, competent execution of vibe build, max out on Roach Hydra, and kill them.
Yeah. It does work very well against Zerglings. And MTC is getting attack upgrades and Zerg speed, which is pretty good. And going Roaches too.
On the way.
Yeah.
Both players still on 2 bases.
Both players on 2 bases. Oh, though MTC is building a third.
Yep.
And Enamord has overlords all over to tell him whenever anything happens anywhere. Missile attacks finishing up.
Going out to chase away the overlords, but it is off creep, so it is going to chase very slowly. That being said, it's not like this overlord really has anywhere to run, so...
Yeah, overlord getting hit. 35 workers on Enamord's natural. Which, I mean, you can generally pass the 16 limit, and it'll still be efficient, but once you pass 24, that's not efficient anymore. That's just wasted.
Enamord really should be taking a third here.
Yeah. Just like I'd like to see these lanes start harassing. Oh, Enamord did take a third. He just hit it.
Ah. Interesting. Queen, having killed one overlord, decides to retreat and leave the other alive.
Yeah. Let him see what happened to his friend. Let that be his warning. Yeah. MTC's fallen prey to something that happens to me all the time as well, where you build workers, and then you have enough workers, and then you build buildings, and you forget that you're Zerg.
Yep.
And that you need to rebuild workers after building buildings.
Enamord, staying on top of injects, staying on top of worker production.
Yeah. The Queen sends a good 8 injects into this new hatchery. Which isn't ideal, but it is something you can do to spend them. Hydralisk and Queen together.
Being chased away.
Yeah, they have a mother-daughter bonding day and kill the Overlord. Kind of dark, but...
And a fourth is on the way in the 3rd/natural location for Enamord.
Yeah.
This is a weird map.
I mean, there are a few of these maps with pocket naturals that I liked. There's a water slide one. But,
I mean, I think that's probably the less interesting feature of a map that has water slides, but...
there's also 16-bit.
We have Hydralisk speed being researched, just finished for Enamord.
Yeah. You know, Hydralisk upgrades for MTC. That is something that's very important. When you get Hydralisks get their upgrades, they're just not anywhere near as good without them.
Yeah.
There are units that can do without their upgrades, but Hydralisks aren't one of them.
MTC building a second evolution chamber while not researching anything with the first. Creep
He's
spread.
going up to 4 bases. Sorry.
Reasonable for both players.
Though Enamord is getting to a 5th. Yeah, there's a huge difference in worker count. That's a big problem for MTC.
Yeah.
I did wonder. Okay. I was wondering when I looked at the map and what was in the middle, and now I see there are these crystals on the bottom there. A blue one and a red one. And a green one, but I can't really get a good look at the green one. Yeah. Enamord is almost maxed out. And now it's fully maxed out.
Excellent vision of the map. Can see literally everything except for the interior of MTC's base.
Yeah, but that would be hard considering the amount of hydralisks in MTC's base. MTC gonna open up that gold base, which is actually a pretty good idea if... Nope, kills the Overseer. But if you're behind, getting a gold base could be a good way to get ahead. There are generally 3 ways I've seen to get ahead once you're far behind. And yeah, this battle isn't one of them. There are +2 roaches and +2 hydras versus +1 wings and hydras with no upgrades.
Yeah, that is a huge upgrade lead for Enamord.
Yeah, that doesn't go well for MTC. Enamord loses his roaches, but is just gonna A move and kill everything. And the GG comes down. Anyway, if you do find yourself behind, you can try to take a gold base. You can tech up and try to beat your opponent with higher tech. Or you can go stupid, which is use some kind of unit that's not used a lot. That does force your opponent to think a bit strangely. And yeah. Next map is on Golden Wall. It's a staple in my list of favorite maps.
Yeah. It is surprisingly well balanced for a very strange map.
Yeah. I definitely like Superwoman as a map maker. He actually wrote a pretty nice blog post now about Eternal Empire and how that played. But anyway, on the left, the orange Protoss, MTC. And on the right, the green Zerg, Anric, Enamord.
So I imagine most people watching are familiar with the unusual features of Golden Wall, but we have this mineral wall in the back of the main that connects to the bottom section of the map. We have a gold base in the center here for both players that, once mined out, will also connect to this bottom section of the map. There's this big mineral wall in the center that connects to the bottom of the map. I'm not sure I've ever seen anyone use that.
I have.
But
it's actually deceptive because it looks very big and very hard to pass, but it's only 5 minerals each one, as opposed to the mains, which are 15 each. So it only takes 2 probe trips to open up a path through the middle, and it takes 6 to open up a path through the main.
Natural's on the way for both players.
Yeah. Enamord, yeah, has 2 gateway core coming down. Sorry, MTC, not Enamord.
And a zealot that is supply blocked out of existence.
Yeah, that 23 supply block is one of the big problems for Protoss. And Enamord uses a little pillar here. Zealot is chronoed out. Yeah, just to plug the wall as fast as possible, I guess.
Reasonable enough.
Yeah. Both players building up builders.
Yep. Stargate on the way for MTC.
Oh, cool.
Which has been prepared for by 4 probes mining gas.
Yeah, there is a bit of an imbalance on the geysers, but just as I said that, moved away from the assimilator, built another pylon.
And taking the gases on the natural to help support the Stargate, I assume.
Stalkers
Enamord.
and warp gate on the way.
And Enamord building an evolution chamber and a roach warren. Unsurprisingly, appears to be going for the same build. It worked last game.
If it works, it works. Now the danger in that build against Protoss is that Immortals are just so good against roaches. And Colossus are so good against Hydralisks.
That being said, MTC does not currently have a robotics facility, so...
But he is mining out the wall. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 20 each mineral field, not 10. Not 15. Going for a very fast fleet beacon.
Interesting. I am predicting maybe carriers.
Yeah.
I believe that is what MTC did in my match on Golden Wall.
So Cloud says that Robo is the preferred tech option for Protoss, but it actually isn't. Robo is very good for all-ins, but Air just scales better in the late game. If you're playing a macro game, Skytoss is generally safer and moderately stronger. Even though Zerg can counter it a little bit more easily, it's still stronger. Yeah, MTC takes the gold base and sends a few stalkers and zealots to defend it.
Forge on the way.
Yeah. The fleet beacon is done, and he's building another Stargate and a carrier. Okay. Three carriers queued up.
Which will take quite some time.
Yeah. However, carriers are amazing against roaches.
They are. Cannons on the way to defend the wall.
Yeah.
And more cannons to defend the gold base. And Enamord taking a 4th. But does not appear to have scouted this gold base, so... Although this Overlord will see the carrier when it finishes.
Yeah, I got coaching from one of the Pigpen people, and they said And they said that, so I assume they meant it more for the latter than for pro players.
Carrier provides air vision to shoot down the Overlord.
Powerful unit. Probes head out of the natural. And start mining gold. So we should see a bit of a mineral explosion. I'm not sure how to deselect something.
Let's see. The income tab. Having a fourth base still seems to be putting Enamord reasonably far ahead.
Enamord does have
having workers saturating all of those bases. MTC's natural is still.
Yeah, Enamord does have just more workers and more bases, which is more helpful.
The gold base is doing a decent job at helping MTC not fall too far behind.
Yeah.
Moving some of these workers from the main to the natural would probably be a good move.
Yeah. 2 forges, not really upgrading. Cybernetics core upgrade almost complete. And that's 3 carriers. 3 carriers is pretty intimidating, but...
And Hydralisk upgrades on the way?
Yeah. Plus 2 attack on the way for Hydralisks, and plus 2 attack on the way for carriers. And armor and attack for ground is on the way.
That is now 5 carriers, which...
Oh shit. Apparently the top of the screen is misaligned. 1 second, I will pause. That is incredibly weird that OBS did that. I am sorry. I didn't realize that. Should be better now.
And a mothership on the way.
Yep, coming out of the 3rd base.
But it does not look like it will finish before
These
units.
Roach Hydralisk is on the way. But 6 carriers can be pretty decent against... Oh no, that's a lot of Hydralisks.
If they are forced to attack up a ramp into the carriers, that might be difficult, but they're just going around.
Yeah. So Hydralisks run in, and this army runs in too. Yeah, Hydralisks are doing a very good job getting rid of interceptors. And yeah, carriers are now useless.
There's 1 intercept. Okay, there are 1, 0.
Yeah, they're sending interceptors out 1 at a time. And yeah, Hydralisks now targeting the carriers.
And the Overseer is still alive, so the mothership will not even be able to keep the carriers alive.
Yeah.
Hydralisk's good unit, I guess.
Yeah. Hydralisks are... They're a lot like Thors in that even when they're bad against something, they're not bad. And the GG comes out 2-0 to Anric.